Okay, a couple of you have emailed me and had some misunderstanding about how I graph this type of rational expression. Guys, this is the type when the degree of the top, which is 2, is greater than the degree of the bottom, which is 1. Okay, in this case then we have a couple scenarios go into play here. First off, normally I would factor the top, and that would give me my horizontal asymptotes. But in this scenario, there are no horizontal asymptotes. You have what's called a vertical one, okay, and a slant, or sometimes what some books refer to as an oblique. Okay. Well, let's get the vertical one first. And the vertical one is when I set the bottom equal to 0 and solve. So I have a vertical asymptote at 1/2. Okay, so I'm just going to go over here and make my little graph to start with. And let's get that vertical asymptote in there at 1/2. Okay, so let's say this is 1/2 right here. Close enough. Okay. Now, in this case, I don't have a horizontal because the degree of the top is bigger than the degree of the bottom. The degree here is 1. Okay. So the part about this I think some of you may be struggling with, okay, is how do I long divide and pick up that slant asymptote. Okay, so let me go right down here in the corner of my paper and let me divide that for you. I got to divide the bottom into the top. And I only divide, guys, to the point where I get slope and a y-intercept. That's all I need. Okay, that's all I need. So I got to ask myself, what do I multiply 2x by to get x squared? Okay. And what I need is a 1/2 x. Because 1/2 x times 2x is x squared. And then 1/2 times -1 is -1/2 x. Change your signs when you do, like you do long division. Put a big subtraction out here. Okay, so that's going to go away. That's the idea. But here I have a basically 3.5, and I'll write it like that. X. Now, what am I going to multiply this by to get that? Okay, and that is a plus, that, multiply that, is a plus 9/4. Okay, because that's 18/4, and that's what will do it for me. Okay, that's as far as I need to go. Okay, so if I go back to my graph up here, I'm going to graph that linear line now. So it's going to cross at, let's say, 1, 2, because this is basically 2 1/4. So it's crossing right here, let's say, roughly. This is a sketch with a slope of 1/2. So it's going to go up 1 unit, okay, and over 2, or down a unit over 2. Okay, so there is my slant asymptote. And then all I got to do now is pick a point over here and plug it in to find out if I'm in this branches here or if I'm up here. So I put a point here and plug it in. Doesn't matter what point you use, plug it in. That'll give you a point. You'll know immediately when I did this one, I plugged it in. I won't do that. And I found out that I had one here. And remember, graphs hug asymptote lines. So I've got to have one here, and if I have a branch up here, I have one in the opposite as well. And there's my graph, guys. Right there.